Hello, my wildlings, and welcome back to Burrow for the Turnabout. In the last episode, we were just about to head to the courthouse to actually start defending poor Gideon. Hopefully the new information I have will be useful. But of course, knowing Edgeworth, he's going to throw every possible last piece of last-minute evidence he can at me, just to make things annoying. But hey, that's how he does. Anyway, I am back. I'm sorry for disappearing for a while. It wasn't work this time, I just got ill. But hey, here I am. Volume's too loud. Hi, Gideon. So, did y'all find anything last night? Oh, you better believe it. Oh, we found evidence showing who the actual culprit was. You did? With my Gideon voice. You did? Who was it? Who? As far... that's not the right voice. As far as we can see, Mr. David Koala Bell. The reporter guy? But he ain't a fox or nothing. To be fair, koalas have really sharp claws, as far as I'm aware. Apparently they're pretty vicious at times. It's a long story. You'll see in the trial. Don't worry about a thing, Gideon. We'll get you out of here for sure. Well, I trust you both. All right. I'm ready. We knew it was Koala Bell, but of course he won't outright accept that claim. Well, yeah, that would be silly of him. Although it would be very helpful for us. And you could argue he'd be part of a very big story if he did just admit it. I don't think that's going to wash with him, though, is it? Let's hope we've done enough. Yes, let's. Zootopia Courthouse, number 2, August 8th, 11 a.m. Oh, that feels early to me, but then I do a lot of late night work. So I'm usually asleep around that time.
Court is now back in session for the trial of Mr. Gideon Grey. Now, we last left off with quite the conundrum. We had two opposing motives. One for committing the crime, one for not committing that crime. Then there was also the issue with the photograph. The lack of blood on the defendant's claws suggested they were, in fact, not the attacker. As such, I called the recess for further investigation into the to be conducted. The allotted time for investigation has passed, and I will now hear the results.
He just switches over to a little radio, turns it up to hear, like, the results of a horse race. Which, now that I think about it, might look a little different in this universe. Probably like the sort of Olympics sort of thing. I wonder if they have like the Grand Nationals, but it's like the Olympics for horses. I guess they wouldn't have riders. Unless they have like little dolls strapped to them, which would be weird. Why would they do that? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, now I've made it weird.
But first, are the prosecution and defence both at the ready?
The defence is ready, Your Honour. As is the prosecution, Your Honour.
Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, was the investigation able to shed any light on the motive?
I'm afraid not, Your Honour. Both proposed motives remain equally as valid as before. Efforts to confirm either were equally disappointing.
That is most unfortunate. It seems as though we must rely on the other task I asked of you. So, in that regard, we saw the contradiction contained within the photograph. The lack of blood on his claws suggested he only discovered the scene, which would mean there is another suspect out there. Mr. Edgeworth, did the ZPD apprehend another suspect during the investigation?
The ZPD discovered no other suspects, Your Honor. Why is it always down to the defense attorney to find the suspects? Oh, I'm sorry, we couldn't find anyone. No, not the guy who clearly had claws and evidence in his place. Not the people you should be investigating. Why do I have to do everything around here? I feel like the maid. I just cleaned up around here. Can we just keep it clean for like 5 minutes? I suppose that's to be expected. He doesn't have a mentor coming back from the dead to help. Oh yeah, we did have that. I guess that's a fair point. Yeah, that does help us quite a bit. Then again, even if he did, I doubt said mentor would be of any help. Yes, I just remembered who his mentor was. Yeah, you don't want him coming back. He's probably just gonna haunt you. Like, do really horrible, haunty things, like move all your pictures slightly askew and shout from the bathroom window so that people think you're shouting. And it gets really awkward. I don't have a ghost. What are you talking about? We're totally fine here. Man, that is one ghost I really don't want to meet. Oh, what are you muttering to yourself about? Nothing. If the defense is quite finished, the ZPD searched the surrounding area for a predator who would meet the requirements to be a suspect. They investigated those both visiting that day and those who reside there. As it is, no other predators in Bunny Burrow met those requirements. None had sufficient motive to want to harm Mr. Hops. And each and every single one had an alibi. They were all attending the festival and had witnesses confirming where they were. At the time of the crime, they were nowhere near the scene of the crime. This unfortunately does leave the defendant as the only suspect. He is the only predator with a possible motive and the only one at the scene itself at that time.
Oh, that is quite perplexing. Oh, but as it is, I must rule that the defendant somehow managed to make his claws spotless. Yes, since I only have half of the evidence, I should probably just jump to a conclusion. That's how this works.
Had he committed the crime, such an act would have been the last thing on his mind. And as it is, even if he managed to clean his claws, some would have stuck to the fur around them.
As I said, it is perplexing. Which of course means it's clearly impossible, but I just have to make the assumption. You know, because I want to go home. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten since that turkey sandwich the other day. Now I'm really hungry.
Did you not consider getting something to eat?
No, I was too busy jumping out of windows and shouting, "Judge man, away!"
What were you doing? Investigating, Your Honor.
Oh yes, I did tell you to do that, didn't I?
Yeah, are you feeling alright?
Well, this world doesn't have the right medication that I need. So, I'm a little off my rocker. Haha, I don't actually have a rocker. I'm not that old.
Of course, Your Honor. Fit as a fiddle.
Absolutely. Oh, but he must have managed it somehow. I'm convinced of his guilt, as the prosecution pointed out. He's the only one with a motive. And he was the only one there at that time. Who could have done it? Oh, the evidence is clear, and the photograph is most conclusive in this case. Oh, the photograph was only... Blur the words. Sorry, I'm still off my medication. The photographer was only doing his job, and was lucky to get such a good shot.
Oh yes, objection time. Your Honor, I object to that statement.
You object? But I'm not even being cross-examined. I'm a judge. I don't lie and hide things. There's certainly not anything hidden in this beard. So a little head pokes out of it. Help me. Go back. I need your power, your sustenance, to keep my beard long, thick, and excellent. The source of my power. I'm not guilty! Starts banging his gavel away again. I never said you were a liar, but I think I have new information you need to know. I see. Ignore the beard thing. We often try to, sir. It's kind of disturbing when the faces pop out. What faces? Nothing, Your Honour. I have seen nothing. Your beard is completely normal and not possessed by Satan. Good to know.
I request the judge keep his composure during court.
Quite right. I apologise. Now then, you have some new information for us, Mr. Wright.
That's right, I do. You objected to the judge saying how Mr. Koalabel was just doing his job. He is a reporter that took a picture that would make a story. What about this is objectionable, right? As far as I can see, your only You're the only objectionable thing in here. That would have been a sick burn if you could have said it right. Don't blame me, blame the bloody kid sat on the sofa trying to read this from too far away without glasses that work properly. He should really go get his eyes tested. Specsavers have been sending him letters. He should really just listen to the letter. Go get his eyes tested. Well, I'm sure he will eventually. Yes, well, eventually isn't good enough, is it? Right. Ouch. That hurt, Edgeworth. I'm sorry. I'm just telling it how it is. I don't need to be a jerk about it. I'm trying, okay? I don't have that kind of time all the time, alright? I want to get my glasses sorted. I do. Maybe I will. Eventually. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Well, I might not see. That's the problem. Get it? Because glasses. Moving on.
Well, I object too. I can tell you exactly why that statement was false.
Judy, that's my job.
Shut it, Phoenix.
Okay. Careful, Wright. You might be about to get replaced. Wouldn't be the first time. Oh no, it would be the first time because that happens later in the canonical universe. Apparently. Moving on.
As I was saying, Mr. Koalabel wasn't doing his job at all. Quite the opposite, really. None of his actions that day were under the orders of the Zootopia News Network. Oh, but he was there reporting on the festival. No, he wasn't. He never was. Exclamation point, question mark? I presume you have proof to go along with this accusation. Phoenix?
Oh, I can speak now?
Oh, very funny.
Judy is right, however. And I do have proof to show to the court. And this is my proof. I know which one it is, but I'm going to put a new save anyway. Where is it? David's testimony, assignment list. The assignment list for the day that the crime occurred, David Koalabel wasn't meant to be in Bunny Burrow. That'll do nicely. There you go. Could the court please direct their attention to this?
And that is?
Yes, right. What is that? This is the assignment list given to ZNN reporters for the day of the crime. It lists where each reporter was meant to be and what story they were meant to be following. Dun dun dun. Just an exclamation point, because he's finally realising it's not a question.
Mr. Edgeworth?
I can only think of a single reason why that would be relevant at this moment. Mr. Koala Bell wasn't assigned to the festival that day, was he? Bingo. Koala Bell shouldn't have been there that day. Just gotta let that stew amongst the court.
Order! 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 What would your order be? Chicken nuggets and chips. There you go. Oh, fish and chips for you. There you go. Who's next to order? Ah, yes. Moving on. Oh, that does certainly seem to be the case.
And quite an alarming one at that. We have... We have someone at that scene who simply shouldn't have been there. It is a great cause for concern.
Well, perhaps. Or isn't it possible he simply saw a greater story there? Even if it wasn't authorized, he might have been taking the initiative.
Yeah, but why would he go to a festival that goes on every year and is... I mean, nice enough, but really it's the stuff of the local papers, not, like, international news. Me just so happened to wander to the scene of such a serious crime? Where you see coincidence, I see a link. Well, it's nice to know that when Edgeworth sees reason, he actually follows through with it. Even if he is spending most of his time insulting me and Phoenix all the time. But hey. The defense agrees. He wasn't meant to be there, and just so happened to catch the perfect picture of the crime. The defense motions that Mr. Koala Bell was there for the crime. Dun dun dun. I would love to sit in on one of these court proceedings. If this was like actually happening and I could just sit in the audience, or whatever they're not really called an audience, are they? But those people sit there and watch. It'd be really interesting, I think. Because this is like drama, as it should be. There is a Phoenix Wright anime, isn't there? I need to get around to watching it. I really do, because I think if they did a full anime, I think they could be really good. I don't know how the anime worked, if it follows the story of the games, or it's like a separate story. I'll get round to it eventually.
Order in the court. So, the defense and the prosecution are in agreement on this.
It has become an acute possibility. I believe it would be wise if David Koala Bell was brought back to testify at the stand. Oh, yes.
Very well. Bailiff, bring the witness in.
All right, here we go. It's us against him. We can do this. We can do it, Phoenix. That's what I just thought. Except I didn't say it out loud, so you wouldn't know that, would you? Unless you can read minds. Can you read minds, Judy?
No. If I could, would we be here?
Good point. We'd have solved this case ages ago. Anyway. Oh, God. What was his voice?
You called me up here again?
Witness, it has come to our attention that you strayed from your assigned duties. You were not on assignment the day of the crime.
Yes, and? It's something the studio and I will discuss. It's not a court matter.
We will decide what is and what is not a court matter, witness. Especially if it's involved in a crime.
Explanation point question mark. Oh, something wrong, witness? Am I being accused of something?
Not at this time. It all hinges on your next testimony. And that defense attorney over there. Really, must you point all the time? It's rude. I have a name, you know. Yeah, that too. That's also rude. Witness, could you please explain to this court why you acted as you did that day?
Fine, if it'll clear things up.
why I did what I did.
It's true, I wasn't assigned to Bunny Burrow by ZNN, but the assignment I was given didn't interest me. I saw greater opportunity to interview Gazelle at the festival.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that Gazelle was going to be there. That's a good enough. That's a pretty decent reason to be there.
And that picture I took was just a hasty accident, nothing more. I admit, I'm always seeking out ways to get one over the anchor. I admit, I'm always seeking out ways to get one over the anchor, Peter Moosebridge. He's my rival, in a way. That is why I was in Bunny Burrow that day. There, that's the whole story.
Oh, yes, that does seem to make sense.
If taken at face value. That's the purpose of my cross-examination. Shall I begin, Your Honour?
Whenever you're ready, Mr. Wright.
I don't think I can keep that voice up for too long, so I'm just going to read through the rest of this normally for a little while, until it gets to a new bit. Just so I can rest my voice a little, because it's not entirely fully healed after my illness. It's true I wasn't assigned to Bunny Burrow by ZNN. Okay, press everything. That's always my rule. Press every little thing. And why didn't you mention this before?
It didn't seem like a particularly relevant detail to me.
Details like that are always relevant, witness.
In that case, I apologize. I will keep that in mind from now on.
Why did you choose to ignore your assignment anyway? But the assignment I was given didn't interest me. Does it tell me what he was given? It just says he wasn't supposed to be there. Okay. Not overly helpful to me, but I'll make use of it, I guess. Let's press that. It's your job. Whether it interested you or not was irrelevant. While I agree, what is done is done. You should focus on the matter at hand.
I just want to say, the assignment was a waste of my skills. I was still doing my job, just in a more efficient and bountiful setting.
If a judge just decided a case didn't interest them and didn't turn up for the trial, chaos would ensue. You shouldn't be so disrespectful to the system, witness. Either way, continue with the testimony.
I saw greater opportunity to interview Gazelle at the festival. I feel like there's something niggling at the back of my head about that. Was there some evidence that Gazelle sort of only just came there? Was it released to the public that they'd know? I mean, there'd probably be a lot more people there if it was. It's Gazelle's testimony, a business form, medical report, Moosebridge is an idiot. Okay, yeah, that's not helpful. Jar of claws, dollar bills, assignment list, profiles. Gazelle, highly popular. She was a witness in a previous case. Okay, nothing too helpful here. Never mind. I'm going to press it though. You saw greater opportunity? That was the real reason why you went.
Exactly. She's a huge star after all.
I am highly doubtful that is the truth. Well, she is a big star. Just to clarify, I just don't think it's true that that's why you went. Do not badger the witness, Wright. If you have proof, display it rather than wasting the court's time. Maybe don't use the term badger. I think it might be racist in this universe.
Continue, witness.
That picture I took was just a hasty accident, nothing more. I think we've already proven that otherwise, but okay. There's that word again. Are you certain that is the case?
I've said it before, yes?
He brought it up yesterday. But didn't he say something else? Continue, witness. I admit I'm always seeking out ways to get over the news anchor, Peter Moosebridge. Don't you think such a petty grudge hinders your job?
Quite the opposite. It motivates me, actually. For you see,
he's my rival in a way. Your rival? How so?
he got the position of anchor over me. That is something I will one day rectify.
My brother is something of a rival to me. We have always had differing opinions on how to be a good judge. Like all of this, he would never believe a word. I have always been more open-minded of the two of us.
Yes, he wouldn't be sure how to feel about any of this. Neither would I. Neither do I. Though, from what I've heard, he's a tiny bit less gullible than our current judge. To be fair, he does... When we work for it, he does come to the right conclusion.
Why the smirk, Mr. Wright? Don't make me use my beard powers on you.
No, please. Anything but the beard. Never again.
Keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. Keep it in mind.
No reason. Continue, witness. That is why I was in Bunny Burrow that day. And you're certain that's all there is to it?
To the letter. I have nothing more to say.
What he said bugs me a little. Yeah, me too. Well, you better make sure the court understands as well. Yeah, I'm on it. I better go over what he said one more time. It's true. Someone was given an interest in me, it's a great opportunity, and the picture I took was hasty. New save, just to be on the safe side. A perfect shot shows Gideon great. Okay, I'm thinking I'm presenting the photograph. Ha! Yep, I'm right. Yeah. Hasty, huh? You're backpedaling, witness.
What?
You testified yesterday in regards to this photograph, and you corrected your claim saying it wasn't hasty but a steadied shot.
Oh. Well, yeah, I misspoke just now.
Misspoke? I don't think so. You got mixed up for an entirely different reason. You first claimed it was a hasty snapshot, and then claimed it was a more steadied shot. But the simple fact is...
they were both lies. Dun dun dun.
Lies? Whatever do you mean, Mr. Wright?
Yes, what do you mean?
We've said it since yesterday's trial, and we believe we were correct. He wasn't meant to be there. His arrival coincided with the crime. Logically, he may have very well been there for the crime itself. Nice to see Edgeworth on our side for once. It's not for once, he does. When he realises that we're right, then he comes to our side, which I can respect. Am I wrong, Wright? Not at all. My client was not the attacker, but Mr. Koala Bell was aware that he would find the injured bunny. So he waited for Mr. Grey to arrive, taking the picture when he did.
Preposterous!
Yesterday I might have agreed with you, witness. But now we know you weren't meant to be there. I cannot ignore the possibility. That, combined with you getting your stories mixed up, a telltale sign of a lie, as I've come to learn. I've met many lies working here. Not enough lying, though. Like lying down. I spent a lot of time in this seat. It's really uncomfortable for my buttocks. And because at night I'm secretly the superhero judge man, I don't get much time for sleep. Which is why I have to use my beard powers to consume the life essence of others to survive. Ignore that last part. That was nothing. That never happened. And ignore the secret superhero part. That never happened either. Do we all understand each other?
Yes, Your Honor. I heard nothing.
However, that doesn't mean the defence's claims are necessarily correct.
Ugh. Of course.
I must ask, how was it he knew Mr. Gray was going to find the body? Oh, can you answer that question, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor. Let's have a look at evidence. Large amounts of dollar bills that were hidden away. They are marked as payment. Nope. Assignment list. Medical report. Business form. Gideon's alibi. Found him. Gazelle's testimony. Carrot pen photograph. I don't know. I feel like he was meant to find it. Obviously, Mr. Hops was set out for Gideon to find. It's a fact that Mr. Gray was meant to assist Mr. Hops that day. That would not have been difficult to find out. All someone had to do was ask. The attacker struck Mr. Hops and then left the injured bunny out for my client to come across. The whole time during these two events, Koala Bell was setting up to snap that picture. It was a trap for my client. Oh no. Well, come on, get on with it. While I must admit that would fit into the chain of events, there is still a major problem with your logic. Simply that we have no other suspects for this crime. I know who did it. You do?
You do? Who is it? Who attacked the victim?
New save, but again, I'm pretty sure I know who it was. Unknown, that's who. David Koala Bell.
David Koala Bell?
Yes, Your Honor. Koala Bell is the attacker. Da-da-da.
Have you lost your mind?
Probably. Could you help me find it? I'm just reminded of that one scene from that Pirates of the Caribbean film where one of the other Jack Sparrows just like, wait, I've dropped my brain. I found that hilarious. It has been over half an hour. I could end the episode here, but you know what? I'm on a roll. Let's keep going.
Koala Bell is a prey species, not a predator. Mr. Edgeworth?
It would explain why we never found another suspect. We were looking for a predator.
But we know the victim was attacked with claws.
Phoenix, what about that evidence? You're right. Let's play the pronoun game with that evidence.
What evidence?
This evidence.
Yes, but what is it?
We're playing the pronoun game. You've got to guess.
I don't like this game. Guilty.
Ah, and the whole thing's over. End of the story. Oh, without the ZPD's analysis, we can't prove anything with them. Bogo, where are you? We could just say that the ZPD is analysing some evidence. I mean, it's not like the judge hasn't let us go for that before. Have a quick recess.
If the defence lacks the concrete evidence necessary to prove their claims, then this cannot be accepted by the court.
Ugh.
If that is the case, then I see no more reason to prolong this trial.
Oh, hello, Edgeworth. Thank you. What Mr. Wright has claimed has merits to it. If there is no evidence to be had, I request one final day to see if any such evidence exists. Then we shall truly know whether there is any truth to it. Oh, well, that's good. Maybe. Koala Bell now knows we're on to him, and the extra time could allow him to prepare a counter. But then again, I don't see any other choice if I want to keep this case alive. The defense has no objections. Oh, come on, just say you've got some evidence that's being processed and then have a recess. It makes sense, surely. They've done it before. Why not?
Oh, very well. Then a recess appears to be in order.
Ah, here he is. Is that Bogo? I hope it's Bogo. Or at least whoever brought the evidence. Oh, it's Bogo.
Sorry I'm late. Traffic jam made things difficult getting here.
Chief Bogo.
Right, I have the item you wanted that analysis for. And it's just what you said it was. Oh yeah.
Oh, might someone please tell me what is going on?
A recess will not be needed after all, Your Honour.
It won't.
You wanted evidence? Well, here it is. I mean, clearly this is the obvious answer. Clearly, I need to present the business form. Koala Bell used these claws to attack the victim after knocking him out.
What in the...
Traces of Mr. Hop's blood were found on these claws. Oh yes, it has been updated. Claws retain traces of Mr. Hop's blood. I didn't notice that. But yes, that's useful. Which were found in Koala Bell's own home. In that case, I would also summarise he is also behind the other attacks in Bunny Burrow as well. He used the claws to make it appear that a predator was the culprit. He'd be... pardon me. He'd be gone from Bunny Burrow before any of it was ever discovered.
Oh, now that's just morbid.
Indeed, Your Honour. Yeah, it really is. That's really horrible. It's disgusting. In my view, this all but clears Mr. Gideon Grey of all suspicion. But of course we're going to get an objection from Mr. Koala Bell, who's going to ask for more evidence and is probably going to require me presenting the dollar bills, y'all, at some point. Dun, dun, dun. Come on, we know who it is. Yep, there he is.
Now hold on a minute. It's obvious what's going on here. I've been set up, framed.
Framed? We found it in your home.
It must have been placed there. I mean, what would I gain from an attack like this?
I do fail to see what he would gain from it.
And besides, did the ZPD find any prints on that thing?
No.
Exactly. So, you have no proof I ever even touched the thing.
Oh, damn it. He must have either thoroughly wiped them or wore gloves when handling the jar. So, you're trying to claim that you are being framed. Forgive me, but I find that hard to believe. Perhaps you should provide us with your testimony on the subject,
I agree with Mr. Edgeworth. That way we can cross-examine the story and see if it all checks out.
I would be happy to.
Phoenix, what just happened? We had it! Ugh, I know. They always manage to pull something at the last minute. Either way, we must press on, otherwise Gideon is toast. Toast. Nah, I'm not going to end the episode yet. We're too close. We're nearly there. I'm being framed.
I must express my confusion. I have never before seen that jar or its contents. And besides, I have no motive for this crime.
Well, I think that's the part I'm going to present on.
I think it's rather obvious I'm being framed for the crime. Perhaps Mr. Grey has an associate. Or perhaps not. How am I to know? At the time, all I knew about the crime is what you see in that photograph. Mr. Wright's claims are born from desperation. I have done nothing but cooperate with this court from the start. And I hope we can put this case to rest soon.
Your lies can only stretch so far, Mr. Koala Bell.
You seem awfully confident about this. So let's make this interesting.
Huh?
You seem so convinced that I'm lying. So present evidence. Present the proof of my lie and nothing more. And since you seem to know it all already, no further pressing.
No! I like pressing. I like pressing and prodding and poking the bad people. And sometimes the nice people, because they say funny things.
Do otherwise, and I demand you receive the maximum penalty.
I'm sorry. What gives you the right to demand that? That makes no sense. What?
You cannot make such a demand of the court witness. Yeah, you tell him. That's for the judge to decide. But think about it. He's so convinced that I'm lying, so he must already have the proof at the ready. If not, then he has made such a serious allegation for little to no reason at all. Can you really trust a defense attorney who does something like that?
Oh, come on, Judge, don't be ridiculous.
Yes, I suppose you are correct.
Oh, god damn it. What? The fluke? This has got to be a fluke, right? I mean, you can't.
I look very poorly towards baseless accusations. And with such confidence about it, surely you must have evidence ready to present.
Yes, right. Oh, me and my big mouth. Oh, come on, Your Honour. I'm just trying to make things interesting. My god, you really are the more gullible brother, aren't you?
What was that?
His beard bristles start spiking up and, edging slightly towards him. Nothing, Your Honour. He just sits back in his chair, strokes his beard as it calms down. You just hear a purring noise come from his beard as he strokes it. Oh god, this is weird. His beard has become its own entity. Oh, why does the judge have to be so fickle? I've suspected for a while, but does he actually hate me or something?
Then, under the times provided, you may begin your cross-examination.
Jeez, man, it's a wonder that any guilty people actually get put away with this kind of nonsense going on. I must express my confusion. I have never before seen that jar. But besides, I have no motive for the crime. Ugh, new save. Again. Payment. He hates Peter Moosebridge. You know what? I'm going to present the dollar bills y'all first. Okay, that works. Oh, you thought you had me there, didn't you? Duh. You see, we found something with the jar. Something that most certainly provides you with a motive. A mountain of dollar bills, marked as payment for the crime itself.
Payment? Payment? That sure is a lot. So, this was a hit?
In a manner of speaking. He was hired to commit these various attacks in Bunny Burrow, leading all the way to Mr. Hobbs. He was then tasked with framing my client for the deed, which would most certainly have created a huge news story. One able to upstage Peter Moosebridge, perhaps? Although it appears you're the one who's going to make the headlines, Mr. Koala Bell.
I've already told you, I've been framed.
I have to wonder, do you think he cleaned his prints from the money too?
God.
I believe that was a no. I do like his smirk when it's not aimed at me. It's quite reassuring in those cases. A simple analysis can verify. It would only take a short recess.
Oh yes, that would be the most prudent course of action.
Oh god.
Oh, that won't be necessary.
Ugh, seems I should have given my voice a little longer to rest. Oh well, too late.
I've just recalled the money. It is indeed mine.
So you admit it?
Mr. Wright. You found it in a suitcase, right?
Yes.
You see, I always keep some dollar bills tucked away in there. It's a lot, but there is a reason for it. I was saving to buy a new home, which is also why it was marked as payment. I was going to use it to pay for the property.
Oh, I see. Well, that solves everything. Innocent. No, wait, you're innocent. He's guilty. Gideon is guilty. Guilty!
Stop covering up the truth, Koala Bell.
If I was paid for the crime, show me a receipt. What proof do you have I was paid that money in one large sum? Because I wasn't. It was saved over a long period of time.
Oh, right, if you can prove he was paid the money, then there will be nowhere else for him to run. This is the last line of defense. I think Edgeworth is right, but we don't have any proof like that. Is that true? Your Honor. Dollar bills, large amount of dollar bills, jar of claws, clipped and still sharp, possibly deadly. Profiles. A mysterious bunny responsible for the crimes. Now things are coming to a head. That's nice. Not helpful. Damn. I don't think I have anything at all, so I'm going to wait and see. I have nothing at this time. Does the prosecution have anything to say? Right, the burden of proof is on you at this time. I have none to give. Oh.
Mr. Wright.
No, the judge is going to end this if I don't do something. Your Honor. Time travel. Your Honor. I have evidence.
You do?
We do? This evidence. Oh, no. Reporter to the Zootopia News Network. A news anchor. I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I don't know what to do. Business form. David's testimony. It's an item? It's this item, Your Honor. There.
But that shows us nothing in this regard. Oh, Mr. Wright, no, the judge is going to end this.
I have to bluff, but I don't know what. We do this evidence. Maybe. Oh, I hope I'm right. I'm not right. Oh, maybe I am. I'm bluffing. It's fine. I do have proof of who hired you, and thanks to it, I know it was the person who hired... I know this was the person who hired you. The very same bunny behind both Mr. Jumbo's murder and the derailment of the train station. They wanted to create prey versus predator sentiment, and you wanted both your money and a story, which is exactly why the bunny hired you. The lack of music has me worried.
How did you know about that?
And there we go. That's all I needed. I didn't. At least not for sure.
What?
I had come to that conclusion, but lacked any proof to make it stick in court. Until you admitted it just now.
You lied to me?
I've lost his voice completely.
You lied to me?
I've completely lost his voice.
You tricked me?
Oh, which is exactly what you deserve, Koala Bell. The witness has lied to this court from the beginning. He made a deal with this bunny, much like Miss Ness and Mr. Forger.
He committed several attacks in Bunny Burrow, always knocking the victim out before he was seen, until he eventually reached Stuart Hobbs and framed a predator for this crime. He had planned to walk away from this little richer and with a massive story to cover, and the relations between predator and prey would have become that little more bit more troubled. But he didn't care about that. He only thought of his own success. But the truth was unveiled bit by bit. He has tried to hide it under more and more lies.
Oh, was this really worth it? My father is in hospital because of you.
Yes, it does seem a bit extreme.
That's an understatement. But it doesn't matter anymore. Mr. Koala Bell, through your own confession, you have been discovered. Gotcha.
I was so close. All my goals were within reach. You. Right.
I'm not going to shout that out. There's too many people nearby.
Oh, right. Now that is over. What is the status of Mr. David Koala Bell?
He has been arrested, Your Honor, though he was still screaming and crying Wright's name. I don't think he likes you very much. You think? Honestly, there's probably a lot of people who don't like me very much, but they're all horrible people, so I think that says a lot about my character.
Well, to think I almost had the wool pulled right over my eyes.
You mean, again?
What was that, Wright?
Nothing, sorry.
He was a slippery one, that Koala Bell. And to think, our mysterious bunny was involved again.
This is their third failed plan. The mastermind will not be pleased.
Worrying, but a problem for another time. For now, I can finally give the proper verdict. I find the defendant, Mr. Gideon Gray, not guilty.
Yes, the confetti. Confetti's back. Love a bit of confetti. It's fun.
Court is now adjourned.
Zootopia Courthouse, Defendant's Lobby 2, August 8th, 2:36 p.m. Dum bum 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 bum. Ah, the happy music. And Gideon's here with happy music and pies. How could it be any better?
Well, I'll be you actually did it.
Well, try not to sound so surprised about it.
Sorry, Mr. Wright.
Things just got a bit scary there for a little while.
Well, worry no more, Gideon. You're free, reputation intact. And I hope our family farm does business with your bakery for a long time to come.
Thank you kindly, Judy. I hope so too. Nice performance again. For someone not good under pressure, you're surprisingly good at the whole lawyer thing. What's that meant to mean?
Oh, leave him alone, Nick.
Oh, if I must. Though, Spike, someone else wants a word. Ah, it's Bonnie Hobbs. I've completely forgotten the voice I did for her.
Miss Hobbs. Hello, dear. You certainly did a good thing today. Thank you for bringing down my stew's attacker.
It was no problem, truly. There's always a problem where you're involved, right? Edgeworth? Just come to check on the defendant. I'm as well as can be, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm glad to hear that.
Hey, how's Dad doing? Oh, he's fine, dear. Your grandfather's with him at the hospital. He should be able to leave soon, we hope.
Is he awake?
In and out. He's getting there.
It's nice to have some good news. Maybe now we can get some rest. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Phoenix. But I can guarantee the mastermind has become desperate. And soon this will all end, one way or another.
Oh, good. That's promising. That's good to know. Oh, Mia was right. The mastermind was done. They needed to flee. But first, they needed someone else to take the fall. A friend's life would hang in the balance, and it would lead back to her, and it all would lead back to her. It led to Dawn Bellwether. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh dear, oh no. Continue to turn about for all? Not now. I will do that in the next episode. Oh boy, that... Oh god, I'm gonna have to deal with Dawn Bellwether. Oh no. Okay, I'll try not to punch my screen in the next video. And you'll get to see how well that goes in the next video. I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.